Hi, I'm Douglas, the crazy gringo living in the Ecuadorian Amazon. I keep saying the crazy gringo. You have to be a little bit crazy. I've been living out here for 34 years. It's a beautiful day, but raining. We get a lot of rain. We get about 3.5 meters of rain a year. That's 11 feet, more or less, of rain. But that's why it's called the rainforest. And it's the reason that the vegetation and everything is so lush. But why am I here? What path have I followed that has led me to be here? It started back in 1982. 1982 was a difficult year for me. The United States was in a major economic recession. My father had died. I was having a tough time. And a good friend of mine knew the difficulties I had. I was working with my lawyer to prepare to declare bankruptcy and everything. And she mentioned that evening there was a friend of hers who was going to be in Lexington he was passing through on his way to North Carolina. A friend who was a psychic, and she said, "Why don't you go with me and you can meet him." So I went with her, and there were about 30 people at the meeting. Well, everybody else knew him, I didn't. So everybody else was busy talking with him, and I didn't really have an opportunity to talk with him. But my friend took me up and introduced me, so I said, "Hi, I'm Douglas McMeekin, nice to meet you, Jim." Yeah, that was all. The next morning, my friend went to see him on a personal matter, and when she was finished, before he left, when she was finished, he said to her, "Tell me about Douglas." And she said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Since the death of his father, he is now free to be who he should be." She came back from that meeting and she told me what he had said. And I thought, wow, if someone can just shake my hand and see that in me, he really does have powers as a psychic. And so I said, I want to talk to him. So a couple of weeks later, we drove down to North Carolina for a seminar that he had, 2-day seminar. And after the seminar, I had a moment to talk with him. We went over in one corner of a big hall. A lot of other people were there. It was nothing private. It was not an office, just in one corner of the hall. And I said, "I appreciate this opportunity. Let me tell you about myself." And he said, "You don't need to. I already know." Talk about cutting through the shit that we build around ourselves to protect ourselves. He obviously could see through all of that. And I said, "I don't know which way to go." He said, "You love the wilderness." And he was right on that. And he said, "You need to go out into the wilderness by yourself and pray. Go for 2 weeks and pray." And I said, "That's fine, but I don't know how to pray." I was not part of a formal religion. I had my own spirituality, but not a religion. He said, "Go down to the bookstore, and there are 3 books, buy those, they're only $10, and read them while you're by yourself." I said, "Fine." As we were driving back to Kentucky, I told my friend about the meeting and what he had said. And she had a comment that was interesting. She said, "You're probably one of the few people that will do what he suggested." She knew that I was the kind of person that would do it. And I had said to her, "I'm going to do this experience and go off by myself." And she said, "You're probably one of the few people that would do that. Most of the people that are talking with him and going to him keep going back to him, and he becomes a crutch for them." So anyway, went back to Kentucky. About 2 days later, she called me and she said, "I received something in the mail on a place in Wyoming that might be of interest as a place to go." She gave me the name of the woman in charge and a phone number. I called. And I couldn't say, "I'm looking for a place to pray." I was not comfortable with that. So I said, "I'm looking for a place that I can meditate." And she said, oh, great, we have a cabin down by the river that's just for that. Yeah, okay. So I went. A place called Ring Lake Ranch in the Wind River Range of Wyoming. It's probably one of the most beautiful mountain ranges in the United States. And not a lot of people there. It's wild, it's beautiful. And I spent some of the time in the cabin and around the area, the grounds that they had. But there's also a network of trails that goes all over the mountains. So I had the opportunity to hike. I had my camping gear, I had my tent, and I could camp out in different parts of the mountains, which I did. And all of this time I was questioning, I was reading those books he had suggested. I was trying to just, in part, reanalyze where I was and what had happened in my 40 years of life. I was 40 years old when I was doing this. I went through the periods, the difficulties thinking about being dyslexic at a time that nobody knew what that was. So I was just labeled as a dumb kid who had terrible grades. And literally, if a teacher had not given me a grade in my last year of high school, I never would have graduated from high school. So the dyslexia was a major thing that affected my life. I'm also gay, and being a teenager, a gay teenager in the 1950s was not easy, especially in a conservative state like Kentucky. And I mention that because it's important for me to be open, and it's important for other people. If they want to share with me, they can. And so all of these things, these emotions, these thoughts were coming to the surface. And after about 10 days, it was like a dam broke, and the emotions flowed out of me. I cried, I laughed. It was a cleansing when all of this was just flowing out of me. And it left me completely empty and completely blank to receive a message of whatever was supposed to come. And the message that I received was very simple. Do something to help other people. Do something to help the environment, and ask nothing in return. That is the path I have been on since 1982. 39 years I've been following that path. It has led me many directions. My life has been filled with opportunities and experiences that not many people have had. When all of this energy was out, when that message to me had come, to do what I can to help other people, to do what I can to help the environment, and ask nothing in return, put me on a path that I've been on since 1982. And I'm here today because of that path. And I keep saying, and it's true, I don't have anything. I don't have money, but I keep saying I'm the richest man alive because I've been able to share and to give to many other people, and I've received the love back from them, and that's what's so important. And I have the opportunity to live in this incredible environment. So I wanted to share this story of my life and what has led me to be here in this particular spot today. And hopefully it will be of interest or of use, but it was important for me to be able to share this with you. Thank you, and remember, I love you.